Hello dear students, this is Ikhlaq physics faculty. So dear students, today's topic is Coulombs law. Okay. So the first point you must know about the Coulombs law is that it gives electrostatic force between 2 point charges at rest. Okay. So these are 2 point charges. This here point charge 1, that's Q1, and this here another point charge, that's Q2. Okay. The separation between these two is equal to R. Okay. So Coulombs law क्या देता है? It gives electrostatic force between these 2 point charges and the point charges must be at rest. Okay, and I'm sure कि आपको point charge पता होगा. So point charge simply implies that whose dimensions are very small compared to the separation. Okay. Then one more point is that जो आपको पता होना चाहिए from class 10, and that is the like charges they repel and the unlike charges they attract. Now let's assume that this is a positively charged particle and this also a positively charged particle. Okay. So obviously will they repel or they will attract? They will obviously repel. Why they will repel? Because they are like charges. Okay. अब इस पर भी एक फोर्स है बेटा, that's F. इस पर दूसरा फोर्स है, that's F. The magnitude of these two forces must be exactly same. Simple reason, to every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Or we can say that the Coulomb's law, it obeys the Newton's third law of motion. Okay. Now, what the statement of the Coulomb's law? The statement is very simple, and that's like this: that the electrostatic force of repulsion or attraction between these 2 point charges it depends on two factors. Number one, the charges, and number second, the separation between them. Okay. The statement goes like this: that the force between these 2 point charges is directly proportional to product of the charges. All right. Okay. अब आपको पता होगा what we mean by this directly proportional. ठीक, तो इसका सिंपल मतलब ये है that more the magnitude of the charges, more will be the force, and vice versa. Okay, number one. Number second is that this force also depends upon distance, and it depends upon distance like this. It's inversely proportional to the square of the separation between these two particles. Okay, अब inversely proportional का सीधे सीधे ये मतलब है जितना आप distance को बढ़ाओगे तो force घटेगा, and vice versa. Okay, if we'll double the distance, the force will become F by 4. If we'll triple the distance, the force will become F by 9. So on and so forth. All right. Now what we can do next is that we can combine both these equations, and we have a beautiful equation here, and that's like this: force is directly proportional to the product of the charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance. All right. ठीक है ना? Okay. Now next what I'm going to do is this: I'm going to replace this proportionality sign by equality sign. ठीक? And there will be a constant of proportionality, which is K multiplied by Q1, Q2 divided by R square. Okay. Now this equation is what we call as Coulomb's law. Let me write down this equation first, and this is Coulomb's law for you. And what about this K? This K is called as electrostatic constant. Okay, so this K is called as what? It is termed as electrostatic constant. ठीक है बेटा? Okay. You know Newton's law of gravitation. The force is directly proportional to the product of mass and inversely proportional to the square of the distance. You see that they are nearly same. The Coulomb's law and the Newton's law of gravitation, they are nearly same. But there's a difference between the two. The gravitational force and the electrostatic force. There's a slight difference between them. Okay. The slight difference is like this: that the gravitational force, it's medium independent force, and the electrostatic force is a medium dependent force. Now what does that exactly mean? That means, for example, आपके पास दो masses हैं, they are separated by vacuum. Now you place these two masses inside water, inside glycerine, inside alcohol, or whatever it is, the force is going to remain same. But if, for example, they are charged particles and you are talking of the electrostatic force, then the force is no longer going to remain same. Now what is the reason for that? The reason is this electrostatic constant. You see that the gravitational constant, उसका सिर्फ एक ही value होता है, 6.67 into 10 to the minus 11, whatever the medium is. But the K, its value varies in the different media. Okay, and its value also depends on the system of units. Now if I will tell you, my dear students, how many systems of units are there, you will say, sir, there are two systems of units. अब कौन सा है? SI and CGS. Exactly. And exactly in the same way, there are two types of media in general. Number one is vacuum, and number second is the rest, all other media. Okay. Now, how many permutations, combinations are there? There are exactly 4 combinations. Like the system of units you can use is SI, or the system of units you can use is CGS. The medium you can use is vacuum, or you can use any other medium. So depending on all this, there can be 4 different constants, 4 different values of this electrostatic constant. what I'm going to do is that I'm going to write one by one all those constants here. Okay, and that we'll do in the next lecture.